my name is Carlos Motsakiris and this is Future Games. Today we're going to take a look at a game called The Wizard's Path, which is a very nice game combining hand management and worker placement, which is my absolute favorite. I love worker placement games. I am going to tell you that it was a refreshing game for me to check out, and I'm going to tell you more about how the game is played, which I'm going to do briefly, so keep in mind that also this is it's a prototype version, it's a pre-made version. This is not going to be the final product that you're going to have in your hands, but it's very cool. So I'm going to tell you how the game is played, and then I'm going to tell you what makes this game great and what keeps this game from being even greater. So let's take a look on how the game is played.
Okay guys, now let me show you how the game is played. Our game is consisted of 3 phases. It's the build path, the wizard race, and the meditation. Now let me show you a bit about the main board. Now the board is consisted from these tarot-sized cards, and on these cards, each turn you can play cards from your life deck. So this is a main deck where you draw cards and you place them here, and you do a bunch of stuff with it because there are many cards in there. So in each turn, new cards are going to be placed in these spots. First of all, what we can do in our first section, the build path. First, we can place a crystal, because in our turn we have 4 crystals. Now I don't have crystals, but I have these discs that we can use to play. Now I can place, for example, I can place a crystal here. It's like the worker placement phase, and I can get this card. Now I can use this card in many ways. For example, I can use it to pay the cost of placing a card in my path. Now this is the second thing that I can do. Let me show you here. For example, this is the path I have created. So the thing that you can do in the game to win the game is to create a path from A to all the way to 10. So for you to see better, like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now if I do this, I'm the winner. Not exactly. I am the game is finished, and we will tally up the score of the cards and the score of these cards and some cards over here that I'm going to have. So let me tell you about this later. Now I want to focus on the path, the wizard's path. That's where the game is taking its name from. I can place a card here. I can place it from my hand, but I must pay. So I am let's say a water wizard. If I place a water card like this, you can see this is a water card because it has a drop here. Let me show you like this. Okay, so because I used a water card, which is my color, I have to pay with, I have to discard 1 card as a tribute to place the card. But if I use another power, not my rival one, because I am water mage and the opposite is fire mage. I cannot use fire. I can use earth magic, I can use air magic, and if I use this this water magic, and I can just place I can discard 1 card. But if I place another magic like this one, which is the air, as you can see here in this icon, I have to get rid of 2 cards in order for me to put it here. So the one thing is that I can get a card from here, I can place a card here, or I can return one of my workers like this. Let's say this is the used area, and I can activate what the tarot card says, for example, I can move a card in my path up to 2 spaces. Now, why is this useful? For example, if I didn't have, let's say, if I didn't have these ones, okay, and I get this card, I place it at the very end. Now you cannot see it, but now you can. Now I must place it at the very end, and in order for the game to stop and we can tally up our points, one of the 2 mages must at least have all its cards in the correct position. So I have to bring my 3 over here, like 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is going to be the correct order. So as you can see, the interesting thing here is that you can use these spots to get a card, but also you can activate any ability of these tarot card size cards here. Now let's move on. What's the next thing? Okay, the next thing is to get into the wizard ways. Now the wizard way, let's go back here again. The wizard ways are cards, are things that we can do with some of the cards. So there are the Magium cards. We can summon a Magium, channel, and evoke a Magium. So let me tell you just a bit of these things. So I may have this card in my hand. Now this is like a powerful magic and I want to play it, but I cannot play it this round because I have to put it here and put one of my crystals here. Now at the end of the round, the first thing that we'll do is gather up all the crystals back in our home base, and we can flip all cards, and then we can use this card. Except of these cards, we can nullify a rival energy, we can issue a path challenge. Path challenge is that you compare your path with the opponent's path and see who has currently the strongest power. We can petition an allied court card. For example, let's say this card. This is this is an allied card, and I can use this card for its ability. So I must place it here, and when the time comes, I can use it. And later on we have the meditation part, which is actually the changing and the replenishing of the board, and we can return all the crystals back. We have 4 crystals for each player, and we can reveal any face down cards like I told you before, discard any cards in the rival areas, and so on and so forth. Now this is a brief overview of the game and how the game is played. I must tell you that there are 3 ways you can play the game. One is the basic, the standard game. One is the advanced rules, and the other one is the solo rules. I liked all 3 of them, and I love the 2-player mode. It plays very, very well, but let me tell you more about this stuff later in my final thoughts. Let's go to my final thoughts, guys.
Well guys, you have seen how the game is played. Now I'm going to tell you about the game, and I'm going to start by what makes this game great. So the first thing is replayability. Every great game should have replayability. Now this game, because it has many cards and many ways that you can place the cards in your path, and at the end of the game there are a few ways that you can manage your total points because you earn by points. There is tons of replayability in this game, which is something that I very much love. So number 2. So the second thing that I like about the game is that it has minimum amount of luck. The only luck element that it has is that you can draw cards from the live deck, and you don't know what cards are you're going to draw and what cards are going to be placed in specific spots. But you can control the worker placement phase, where you can check if you like the card better or if you like the spot better. So you can get a useless card, so you can use it for the discard thing, where you will place a card in your path and you must pay it for a specific amount. So I think the strategic amount of the game is much more greater than the light aspect of the game. So I love this about this kind of games where the strategy is very high, but also has a minimum amount of luck just to keep the game interesting and different every time. As I said before about the replayability. Yeah, so let's go to number 3. So the third thing that I like about the game is that you are going to enjoy it as a 4-player game, as a 3-player game, and you are going to enjoy it as a 2-player game. So we cannot find nowadays many games that we can play them as 4-player games, and we can enjoy them as well as 2-player games. This game is great with 2 players. It also has a solo variant, which is a great element also. I don't get to play many solo variants, but it is nice. But the top for me is the 2-player game. So let's go to number 4. The fourth thing that I like about the game is that the mechanisms are in perfect harmony. For example, I use the worker placement to get a card, so I can do the hand management, and I use the worker displacement to use the special ability of the spot here I used to get the card. So these are 2 main mechanisms, and they're harmony with each other, and it's so streamlined in this aspect only that this makes me like very much the game. So yeah, so that now I told you about the things that make this game great. Let me talk about what keeps the game from being even greater. So yeah, number 1. So the first thing is that I would prefer the game had a uniformity in the art. The art in many of the cards is not in the same style. So it has tarot art style, and another thing is black and white, and another page is very nice colored ones, and other cards they are like comic drawn cards, which kind of confuses me. I don't know if some guys like it or not, and some people find it more okay, but I would prefer the art to have a unique style, a specific style. Yeah, that's my point number 1. So let's go to point number 2. It's not that big of a deal, but the beginner mode is not beginner mode. I would say that it's going to be like in a standard mode, because if a beginner tries to play this in the beginner mode, I don't think that player is going to find it that easy to play with. My final thoughts on the game is that it's very good. I like the game. I like the gameplay and how this idea comes together of the mechanism working in great harmony, and I like the variability, and I like how I could strategize to make my path using my own magic or my allied magic. I like the things that we can go back and forth with the opposing player, and yeah, I suggest you to, if you like the review that we have done here, I suggest you go and check it out. The designer is Serge Gagnon. Excuse me if I'm saying the name wrong, but kudos to you, my man. You've done a great game. I love the game a lot, and yeah, I am Charalambos Tsakiris, and this is Future Games. Enjoy, guys.